One of the best ways to level up your dating game with forestry skills is to learn how to identify and use different types of plants and trees for making natural gifts, such as bouquets, wreaths, or baskets. These gifts are not only beautiful and eco-friendly, but also show your creativity, knowledge, and care for your date. In this section, I will show you some examples of how to make natural gifts from plants and trees that you can find in the forest or your own garden. You don't need any special tools or materials, just some scissors, twine, and a bit of imagination. First, let's start with bouquets. Bouquets are a classic gift for any occasion, but you can make them more personal and unique by using wildflowers, herbs, and foliage that you gather yourself. Here are some tips on how to make a stunning bouquet. Choose flowers that are in season and match the color scheme of your date's outfit or personality. For example, you can use daisies, poppies, lavender, or sunflowers for a cheerful and bright bouquet, or roses, lilies, orchids, or carnations for a more elegant and romantic bouquet. Mix different shapes and sizes of flowers to create contrast and interest. For example, you can use large flowers as focal points, medium flowers as fillers, and small flowers as accents. Add some greenery to balance the colors and textures of the flowers. You can use ferns, ivy, eucalyptus, or pine branches for a fresh and natural look. Cut the stems of the flowers at an angle and remove any leaves that will be below the water level. This will help them last longer and prevent rotting. Arrange the flowers in a spiral pattern, starting from the center and working your way outwards. Hold the bouquet in one hand and add one flower at a time with the other hand, turning the bouquet slightly after each addition. Try to keep the stems at the same length and angle. Secure the bouquet with twine or ribbon once you are happy with the shape and size. You can also wrap the stems with some burlap or lace for a rustic or pretty touch. Trim any excess stems and add a tag with a sweet message for your date. Next, let's move on to wreaths. Wreaths are a versatile gift that can be hung on doors, walls, or windows to add some charm and coziness to any space. Here are some steps on how to make a simple wreath. Find a sturdy base for your wreath. You can use a wire hanger, a grapevine wreath, or a cardboard ring as your base. Gather some branches, twigs, leaves, berries, nuts, pine cones, or anything else that you like from the forest or your garden. You can also use dried flowers or herbs for a more lasting wreath. Attach the branches or twigs to the base by wrapping them around it with twine or floral wire. Make sure they are secure and cover the entire base. Add some decorations to your wreath by gluing or wiring them to the branches or twigs. You can use anything that matches your theme or style, such as ribbons, bells, ornaments, or even photos. Make a loop with some twine or ribbon at the top of your wreath for hanging. You can also add a bow or a tag with a lovely message for your date. Finally, let's talk about baskets. Baskets are a practical gift that can be used for storing items, carrying things around, or displaying fruits or flowers. Here are some ideas on how to make a basket. Find a basket that suits your needs and preferences. You can use an old basket that you have at home or buy one from a thrift store or craft store. You can also make your own basket by weaving strips of paper, fabric, or plastic. Decorate your basket with some paint, stickers, glitter, or anything else that you like. You can also personalize it with your date's name or initials. Fill your basket with some goodies that your date will enjoy. You can use fruits, chocolates, cookies, cheese, wine, tea bags, candles, books, magazines, or anything else that suits their taste and interests. Wrap your basket with some cellophane paper or tissue paper and tie it with some ribbon or twine. You can also add some flowers, herbs, or greenery to the top of your basket for a more natural and festive look. Attach a card or a note with a heartfelt message for your date. These are just some examples of how to make natural gifts from plants and trees for your date. You can use your own creativity and forestry skills to make other types of gifts, such as planters, terrariums, candles, soap, or perfume. The possibilities are endless. Remember, the most important thing is to have fun and show your date how much you care about them. A natural gift made with love and attention is worth more than any expensive or generic gift. So go ahead and impress your date with your amazing forestry skills and make them fall for you even more. One of the most romantic things you can do on a date is to build a cozy and romantic campfire. A campfire can provide warmth, light, and a relaxing atmosphere for you and your partner. But how do you build a campfire with the right materials and techniques? And how do you stay safe and prevent wildfires? In this section, I will show you how to level up your dating game with forestry skills by building a perfect campfire. First, you need to find a suitable spot for your campfire. You want to choose a flat, open area that is away from trees, bushes, grass, or anything that can catch fire. You also want to avoid windy areas that can blow sparks and embers around. If possible, use an existing fire ring or pit that is already cleared of vegetation and debris. If not, you can make your own by digging a shallow hole and surrounding it with rocks. Next, you need to gather the materials for your campfire. You will need 3 types of fuel: tinder, kindling, and firewood. Tinder is the material that catches fire easily and quickly. It can be dried leaves, grass, pine needles, paper, or cotton balls. Kindling is the material that burns longer and hotter than tinder. It can be small twigs, sticks, or branches that are no thicker than your finger. Firewood is the material that sustains the fire for a long time. It can be larger logs or branches that are no thicker than your wrist. Now, you are ready to build your campfire. There are many ways to arrange your fuel, but one of the simplest and most effective methods is the teepee method. To do this, you start by making a small pile of tinder in the center of your fire ring or pit. Then, you lean some kindling around the tinder in a cone shape, leaving some space for air to flow. Finally, you place some firewood around the kindling in a larger cone shape, leaving some gaps for oxygen. To light your campfire, you need a source of ignition. This can be a match, a lighter, or a flint and steel. You want to ignite the tinder first, and then gently blow on it to spread the flame to the kindling. Once the kindling catches fire, it will ignite the firewood and create a steady blaze. Congratulations! You have built a cozy and romantic campfire with the right materials and techniques. Now you can enjoy the warmth and beauty of the fire with your date. You can roast marshmallows, tell stories, sing songs, or just cuddle under the stars. But remember, safety first. You don't want to ruin your date by starting a wildfire or getting burned. Here are some tips to stay safe and prevent wildfires. Never leave your campfire unattended. Always keep an eye on it and make sure it is under control. Keep a bucket of water or a shovel nearby in case you need to put out the fire quickly. Don't throw any trash or plastic into the fire. They can produce toxic smoke and harmful residue. Don't use any flammable liquids like gasoline or alcohol to start or boost your fire. They can cause explosions or flash fires. Keep your campfire small and manageable. Don't pile up too much fuel or make it too high. When you are done with your campfire, make sure it is completely extinguished before you leave. To do this, you need to drown it with water, stir it with a shovel, and feel it with your hand. If it is still hot or smoldering, repeat the process until it is cold and dead. By following these steps and tips, you can build a cozy and romantic campfire with forestry skills that will impress your date and make them fall for you even more. Happy dating! One of the best ways to level up your dating game with forestry skills is to impress your date with your knowledge of wildlife, ecology, and conservation. In this section, we will give you some tips on how to do that and how to avoid common pitfalls and dangers in the forest. Wildlife is the term used to describe all the different kinds of living organisms within a given area, such as animals, plants, fungi, and microorganisms. Ecology is the study of how these organisms interact with each other and with their environment. Conservation is the practice of protecting these organisms and their habitats from threats such as human activities, invasive species, climate change, pollution, hunting, fishing, and poaching. Here are some ways you can impress your date with your knowledge of wildlife, ecology, and conservation. Identify the animals and plants you encounter in the forest. You can use a field guide, an app, or your own memory to name the species and tell some interesting facts about them. For example, you can say,